Hi everyone, this is Supreet here from Auckland, New Zealand. I have been in teaching from past 9 years. I was working in ECE sector for 9 years. Now I am living in primary schools. So today's topic is, as promised in the last video, is all about Nzqa. I'll be putting that link below in the description box. If you haven't checked my last video, you can go and check it out, and that way it will make more sense to you what is Nzqa and what are the benefits to apply for Nzqa. Now today I'm going to tell you about the Nzqa reports. So we'll start with ECE. For example, it's all about in education sector. Because I'm in teaching, so I am dealing with those reports, discussing with other children, other people who are stuck at some point with any issue. So I am guiding them, so I know what's happening with Nzqa reports. In education sector only, I can give you an idea. So for example, you apply for Nzqa, you get all assessed, all your qualifications assessed, and you get an ECE on your Nzqa report. What happens then? What can you do after? If you get ECE qualified on your Nzqa report, that means you can work in childcare with the age of 0 to 5 years as an ECE qualified teacher, which is in very demand at the moment. It's demanding in all the sectors though, ECE primary and secondary, but because we are talking about ECE, so that's how it works. There are few statements with Nzqa reports. It's gonna be a bit confusing for you. I will try to explain as much as I can, but if you have any confusion, comment below. I can clear that point again. So if you've got ECE, that means you're good to go and work in any childcare without a second thought. The employer will just ask you for your Nzqa report before they employ you in ECE sector. So let's move on to primary. If your Nzqa report says primary qualified, which few of my friends got, I just got to know them through Facebook. They approached me to help them through someone, just a word of mouth. So a few of them got primary. What primary means, if you get primary qualified on your Nzqa report, primary means that you are able to teach in primary schools, right, and ECE as well. And I'll tell you how it works. Primary, you will be primary qualified. You will be able to teach year 0, from year 0 to year only primary, so year 10. You'll be able to teach up to year 10, and for that you need just a primary qualified on your Nzqa report. You can jump back to ECE sector as well. You can work in a childcare center with primary on your Nzqa report. There is just a little demerit of getting primary on your Nzqa report if you want to work in ECE. Otherwise, it's really good. So just that way, if you want to work in ECE sector. So how childcare works? Childcare is totally different from primary and secondary. They have to meet the ratio, the qualified teachers ratio for the ECE center. So if you have got Nzqa report as primary qualified, you can still teach in ECE and primary, but in ECE you can't be the person responsible. You can find all that information on Education Council and Ministry's website. I'll put the link below for both of those, and you can go under overseas trained teacher tab and you can see. So what person can't the term means. So if you've got primary, that means you can work in ECE, but you can't open or close the center. That means you can't do morning or close shift. If they put you on morning shift, someone ECE qualified have to be with you at that time. So that means you can't be on your own for opening and closing the center. You have to have the middle shifts, which some centers think that, you know, they have to hire someone extra, or they can't put you in that shift. Sometimes it creates trouble, otherwise it's not a problem. But then you get you know, two sectors to work in. You can choose where to go and you can see where your passion is at. We come to secondary. If you get secondary as Nzqa assessment, secondary qualified. So if you've got secondary qualified on your Nzqa report, that means you can teach in secondary school, which is intermediate, year 7 and year 8. And I'm sure you can teach in primary as well. But there will be like up to some years in primary. So these are the different reports and assessments you can get through Nzqa organization. I would like to tell you that if you send your papers for assessment and you get non-comparable, as I talked in my last video. So what happens when you get non-comparable? Don't get disappointed. Non-comparable means why you get it. You get level 7, like sometimes, you know, you've done B.Ed, you've done everything, but you still get non-comparable to New Zealand education standards in your Nzqa report. So why that happens? Sometimes, like in Bachelor's of Education, it used to be 45 days of teaching practice, which NZ education system, New Zealand education system does not accept that, because here they think that teaching practice should be more. So just because of the teaching practice, they give you non-comparable to New Zealand education standards, but you are still eligible to teach in New Zealand education system. It says on your education report, even if it's non-comparable. So what you can do if you get non-comparable, in what sector you'll be eligible to work in. ECE, you can work as an unqualified teacher, which is at the basic pay rate. At the moment it's 17.70 an hour. You can teach in ECE sector as an unqualified. Unqualified means that you are at basic pay rate and the centers do not get funding for you. That's why they can't pay you more. But if you have experience, if you've been in teaching line, you know, that's how it works. Or depends on what your experience is if you have local experience or not. So all depends on your experience, and then you get assessed for salary. The other thing with non-comparable Nzqa report, where else you can teach? You can teach in primary school. I know it's a bit confusing, but again, I'm telling you, if there's any confusion, please comment below and I'll try to answer, or if I don't reply to you in the comments, I'll be making another video on that. So how can you teach in primary if you've got non-comparable in your Nzqa report? So what happens when you get non-comparable? What should you do next? For non-comparable Nzqa report assessment, they give you an option to go to the Education Council to apply through discretionary pathway. Discretionary pathway is when your studies are at level 7, but due to some reason you can't get any sector specify in your Nzqa report, then you can apply to Education Council on discretionary basis. They assess you on the basis of other documents. In my very first video, I did put the link for that Nzqa assessment documentations. but I can even provide the link below for that list. It's a long list. I am helping someone at the moment to collect all the documents. That person is still in India, got Nzqa report, and is going to apply for registration from India only. You can all do that too. If you're in India, if you're listening to my video, if you're in teaching line, you can get Nzqa assessed and get the teacher's registration from your own country, and then you can, because it's in demand, if you can try find a job offer, you can come on work visa currently because it's in demand. So if you go to primary and, oh no, sorry, I'm going to tell you about discretionary pathways. So you collect all the documents, and then what Education Council says, they assess you for your studies, for your experience, for your referral letters, for appraisals you have done from your school, all the documents you can collect. Experiences and experience letters and referrals are most important part. So if you can collect that, they'll assess you in a monthly meeting, and then they'll tell you the answer. If they approve your registration, then good to go. They might put a condition of English requirement, English language requirement, which is 7 bands each module, or PTE test. So you get your registration, but still you're not ECE qualified even if you get the full registration or provisional registration. There are 2 steps in registration: provisional and full. So for provisional, you work under a mentor for 2 years, and then you work on your folder. You collect all the evidences wherever you work, like their stories, children's stories, minutes, meeting minutes, and any PDs you have done. So that way you work under a mentor for 2 years, make your folder, and the Education Council checks it, and then you move to the full registration. So there are 2 steps in registration as well: provisional and full. So with that registration card, even if it's provisional, you're eligible to teach in primary and ECE as an unqualified teacher on a basic pay rate. In primary, they'll ask you to fill a form, and there is a column you have to tick, that discretionary pathway, if your Nzqa report was non-comparable and you went through discretionary pathway through Education Council. So in primary, you will be able to teach up to year 3, which is 3rd class. So year 0 is a new entrance. Year 0, 1, 2, 3. You can teach in those 4 classes for as a non-comparable Nzqa report. Right. So this is all about Nzqa reports and different outcomes and different sectors you can teach in with different assessment reports. If you want to apply for Nzqa assessment, especially in teaching, if you have done education, bachelor's of education, or your degree, or even further studies like master's in teaching, so teaching stream, children should apply for Nzqa assessment report because it's in very much demand at the moment. You might get a job offer letter, and you might be able to come on a work visa instead of a student visa. So it's a request to you all. Please choose your course and the college wisely. Visit the websites, and whatever your college you're coming for, please email them and ask for the outcome. Will that course be lead to registration, teacher's registration, or not? So you have that information in your email. It will be easy for you later on. Thank you so much. Please watch my video, comment below, and share it with your family and friends. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will get back to you very soon with another video. Let me know if any topics you have in mind you want me to talk about or research for you while being in New Zealand. If you need any information on the colleges or courses, let me know, please. I will be linking my primary school teaching video and the last video I made on NZQ. I'll put the links below in the description box for you to check that out as well. Thank you so much. Bye bye. So here, guys, I'll just show you how you can go to the NZQ website. So www.nzqa, here you go, .government.nz. So I'll just quickly take you through few tabs so where you can find all the information I provided in my video. So this is the Nzqa website, and as I said, you need to go to qualifications and standards tab here. Just scroll down and here it says recognition of overseas qualifications, international qualifications assessment. So here you can find the whole information about how you can start your Nzqa assessment, where you need to send it. It says the process will take up to 25 working days. The cost to get your qualification assessed, it's 746 New Zealand dollars. Maximum of 5 qualifications can be evaluated per application. After this, you'll have to lodge a new application. This is all it's about. Application purposes, as I mentioned in my video, that you can tick the four of the options, which are immigration, employment, further study, teacher registration, or teacher salary. So you can tick all of these. You can select more than one application purpose for your application. Your application purpose will be recorded on your results statement. So I'll just give you an example for one. Let's try employment or further study. See what it says. Select this purpose if recognition of your overseas qualification is required for entry into a New Zealand study program. If you're coming for further studies, contact the New Zealand education provider before submitting an application for an IQA to ensure that it is necessary. So before you send your application to NZQA, you can always send an email to the Education Council website. I'll show you that very soon after this. So just to confirm with the Education Council that you really need to get your studies assessed, or you really have to just go for further studies to get the registration, because then otherwise it will be a waste of money. We'll take another maybe teacher registration and teacher salary. Say what it says. So it says it's only necessary if you're completed your initial teacher education overseas, like if you've done bachelor's of arts or science or in any stream, and then bachelor's of education or master's, and you wish to work as a school or early childhood teacher in New Zealand. So you've done all your education in India or in your home country, and you're thinking of working here in New Zealand in the education sector. If you plan to teach at the tertiary level, you do not need to seek registration, because you can just teach as it is with your qualification. If you have a current New Zealand teacher registration but have an additional overseas qualification that you need to be assessed with, then you can select teacher salary as your application purpose. So you'll get I'm just giving you an idea. You can get all that information on NZQA website. This is how it looks, and you can go to find their contact here, contact us, right on the left side here. You can click on contact us. Here you can find the number, the telephone number here, and 0800 number for if you are in New Zealand. I'm just seeing if I can find the email address. There should be one. If not here, I'll make sure I'll put that under the video. It should be here somewhere, but yeah, I'll find it for you and put it. There should be inquiries email address. They are based in Wellington. Now I'll quickly take you through to the education website, Education Council, where you can get the registration. So here, Education Council. So here's Teaching Council. It's all about becoming a teacher, getting certificated, practicing as a teacher, conduct and competence. So if you want to know about overseas trained teacher, let's see, becoming a teacher or practicing. Let's see where we can get it. So this is the council website. You'll find all the news, what are the rules of changed, and everything on their website. They have changed it from Teaching Council to Education Council. So here guys, I'll just tell you more about the Education Council. This is a body where you get your teacher registration, and if you get non-comparable on your Nzqa report, you go to Education Council to apply through discretionary pathway. So let me find where you can find all the information about overseas trained teacher. Here, so you have to go here, getting certificated, and then you'll go say here for overseas teachers, and here is all the information. If we click on discretionary, because I'm going to explain you about discretionary pathway, so I'll click on discretionary pathway here. Here is the form EC30 online, and then for overseas teachers, if you scroll a little bit down, you'll find the whole information about what exactly you need to submit. Yeah, here you can only apply through discretionary pathway if your Nzqa report state that your qualifications are not comparable to a recognized New Zealand teaching qualification. So when to apply, the council only considers discretionary applications at a monthly meeting. So you have to prepare a file of your documents and send it through, and they have a monthly meeting where they discuss that if that candidate or that person is really worth taking in the education sector. So how to apply through the discretionary pathway, there's a different form for discretionary pathway, but it's always better, what I suggest to people, that always just email the Education Council and tell them what you're thinking about doing. If you're applying through discretionary pathway, ask them to send you a form or a link on your email. That way you can never go wrong. So here is the list of the documents you need: Nzqa assessment report, copies of transcripts, certified copies that you must get it certified by a JP, or if you're in India, any local mayor or councillor or anyone can certify it. Information regarding the practicum component. If you have done any practicum in India, you have to submit that report. Information about professional teacher registration status, which depends on if you hold one. If not, then not a problem. Teaching service, so you have to provide all the experience letters, certificates wherever you worked at. Here just a little tip, that if you apply all the certificates, they should be certified and the number should be on it.
because when you apply for a residency, they sometimes they go and check it, and they want to make sure that the certificate was genuine. Like in my case, when I applied for residency, people from Delhi office, they went where I worked, and the certificates I provided, they just went in. I had no idea about it, but they went in and checked all my attendance, the registers, they met the teachers. So yeah, that's just a simple tip. So language proficiency, you will have to click on the language proficiency to go through that. Any appraisals, observations, and teaching assessment if you have got done in India while you're in teaching sector. Induction, mentor teaching if you were under a mentor or you were doing any observed teaching. Support from professional leaders, all the reference letters will be helpful, as many as you can collect. Doesn't matter if you have collected from the manager of that school and you think that that's enough, but I would suggest that any teachers, colleagues you have worked with, and if they can write it for you, even the parents, if they can write something about you, your the experience they had with you. Professional development, any courses you have done related to your teaching, for example, a first aid certificate, you can put that in. If you have done any courses on strategies for children, classroom management, you can do that. And yeah, curriculum, CV is very important here, so make sure you have New Zealand style CV with it to attach in your file. Make this file very nice and clear so it's easy for them to go through it. So number 1, number 2, just go through it and prepare a file. So decision making process, what they say, your qualifications include the content and level at which they have been placed on New Zealand qualifications framework by the Nzqa, how much teaching experience you have and whether it was recent. Appraisal documentation, I did provide the appraisal document, so if you need the sample, you can ask me, you can comment below under the video if you need the sample of any document you're stuck at. I can help you with that. Evidence of professional development, yeah, there should be, it should not be handwritten that you have done this in that course. There should be a certificate, or if not, then it should be written by your professional leader, and just mention all that professional development courses you have done in your CV. So this is all it is about. So you can go through this website too, it is very helpful. So I just want to see if I can, I'll surely put the link below. Sorry, I'll surely put the email address for this, and here let's see if I can find the email address here. Here's the phone number and the email address. Email address is inquiries@teachingcouncil.nz, but yeah, this is the one you'll be using because it's about journal and registration inquiries. They're based in Wellington as well. I'll make sure I'll find the email address for NZQA2 and I'll put the link below in the first comment. You'll find it there. I'm planning to do a live video where you can ask me questions about registration or documents or any questions you have regarding the teaching profession and registration and Nzqa report. Let me know if you're really keen on that. I'll do that, but I really want to see the comments. Otherwise I'll do it when I'm ready. So if you really want me to do the live Q&A, let me know, comment below, and I'll see you in my next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.